Hey, it's Greg Grunberg, Snap Wexley, and you are listening to 6th Scale Scavengers.
All right, Scavengers, welcome back. Episode 4 of our return here. I'm your host, Brian, joined as always with my good friends, Chris and TC. Chris, TC, I feel like since the first time we did this, like I'm finally I feel like I'm back. Like I was just joking with you guys ahead of the show here. Like I haven't ordered any figures yet, but I'm feeling like there's not like an old time collection update on the way, but I'll hopefully have some updates coming up soon here.
No massive influx of figures randomly, you know?
No, my budget won't allow for that, but
hey, you know, at least, you know, we get a little hint that that he's back. You know, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, but no, it feels good. I mean, sorry everyone if you were looking for an episode a couple weeks ago, but June got busy with the four of us. With
four of us.
I mean, three of us. Sorry. Wow. I can't count apparently. Good thing this is live, right? Yeah, with end of school
yeah.
sports, coaching soccer. I'm on the town soccer board, so that was busy with there. I had a birthday. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and like we talked about last time out, TC. I mean, not only is there a lot of figure releases, but like movie blockbuster season is back, and there's just so much to like. It feels like we're drinking from a fire hose right now.
Yeah, and I've seen Flash. I'm going to see Indiana Jones next week.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think that comes out tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night. But yeah,
Tomorrow night,
July,
yeah.
4th of July movie for me. Go with the family. Go with my parents, my wife, and it should be a good one. And yeah, I think Chris, you saw, was it Elemental?
Yep. Yeah, Disney's Elemental with the girls, and any girl dads out there, get your hankies ready, because it's a good movie. I think it was good, and girls enjoyed it, but a little touch of sadness kind of thing, happy sadness in there. But and then, you know, saw Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, you know, about a month ago, and you guys are ahead of me with Flash. I got to sneak that in somehow. Would love to see Indy this weekend. We'll see how it goes.
Rise of the Beast, Transformers.
Oh my gosh, forgot about that.
I feel like there's another one in there too. I did see Spider-Verse, but it's just a good time to be a nerd. You know, especially with all these movies and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I can't keep up with like the Marvel TV stuff. Like Secret Invasion just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
I know, Chris, you caught like the first episode.
One, yeah. I didn't watch
I
it
might wait
yet.
until it's over, but I mean, this is gonna sound bad as like a Star Wars fan, but like I've yet to see the rest of Andor. I watched the first episode, and I couldn't convince my wife and son to finish watching the series with me. And you know how it is, Chris. I'm like, if you don't like commit to something, like next thing you know, it's like, wow,
it's gone. Like it's way down the road. And I joke with you guys and the Scavengers Council, like if my wife is not into a show, there's like a 95% chance that I don't end up watching it, or, you know, so for me to find the time to watch these shows. Sean always gives us crap, Yahtzee, like
usually
he's like, just make the time, you know, just do it. I'm like,
not
you know,
so easy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish maybe he's got some cushy job that he can just watch movies all day, but
it's got to be some California thing. I don't know, like Cali vibes.
Yeah. So we got a great show on tap for everybody tonight. We're going to do our normal show and tell. We've each got some releases to talk about. Again, not always completely 6 scale. Our collection update, we do have each of us have some things going on. And then for a topic, I don't know, in the Fontaine household right now, it's Batman fever. My son and I, I just showed him the Dark Knight trilogy over the last couple of days. He's not quite 12 yet, so I thought it was maybe kind of finally age appropriate, but love that. I saw Batman 89 and Batman Returns recently. I saw the Batman. So talk about, Chris, like you just like delay something. 15, 16 months later, I finally saw that movie, and I kept like, I'm going to do it. But nobody else could watch it with me. So then it's like, when on earth am I going to have like 3 hours? I'm not like dead tired to watch it. Oh my God. I love that movie. It was great. But anyway, so we're going to talk about,
great movie.
Hypothetical person, mostly me, starting a Batman collection from scratch. So, Gare Bear saying the 3 goats. You're the goat, my friend. We got to get you back on. I'd love to. We've been talking about, getting like, I think it's my faux pas a little bit ago, Chris. I think 4 is like the maximum you can have on a panel, and then it just gets crowded. So I'd love to have Gare back on, and some of the other council members and stuff. It would be, it'd be really great to do that. So, and Danny Lee in the house. Haven't seen Danny in a while. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, here you go, Chris. They like to work as a little.
Okay.
basketball.
Yeah. See, I knew there was something up there.
An afternoon surf.
Yeah.
An evening movie.
Yeah.
Morning movie.
mean, I know nothing about catching a matinee during the day while I'm supposed to be working. I don't tell my boss.
Yeah. Robert's got it on. He's an empty nester now. So, yeah, Andrew's right. So we're going to talk about maybe some strategies if you got Batman fever, and what's available for retail, what's up for pre-order kind of. So we asked some of our scavengers in the Scavengers collectors group on Facebook. We're still over 400 strong, which is crazy. And at TC, I think, as you noted, like the activity's been really kind of ramping up. I mean, some of it's me, but I think just in general, the conversations starting to pick back up. I think for some reason they're glad we're back. I don't know.
I'm glad.
I mean, yeah, I am too.
Now it should be
good to be back.
What do we got on the show and tell?
All right. So I just one quick note before we go to the show and tell. So Scavenger alum, Danny, aka D'Lo the Collector. He was a guest on Visions. Shane has his sub episodes that he does on his 1-6-figure focus. So I caught a little bit of that the other day. It was kind of neat. Scavengers interviewing Scavengers, those Scavengers alumni. I personally love seeing people that either, were either on our shows or part of our community that are out there, doing their own thing, because nobody's a know-it-all. I mean, the 3 of us, not the 4 of us, because, there's not the random phantom person here, but, we all don't really know anything. We're out there trying to help, anybody, because I feel like we're the average collector, and I think even more so now. Like, I feel like I lost like 2 years, it feels like, of just like not even realizing what went on in the 1-6 community. So good or bad, I feel like I'm a novice again, which I was before. But so it's just great. I love seeing Danny and others out there doing their own content, creating communities, hanging out. That's really what it's all about. Anybody can talk about this stuff. Some of us have firsthand experience with either collecting or making mistakes and stuff like that, but it's 100% about the community, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got, that's kind of one of our missions that we had back in the day was, to get some like-minded people, following us and interacting. And I mean, that's kind of how it's gone. And like Michael's saying in the chat, his favorite community. I mean, we appreciate it. I think we had a pretty good foundation there with a really good group of collectors. And it's with all the content that's come from the different scavengers. I think it's great seeing everybody express their, enjoyment in the hobby, and, just kind of having their twist on things.
So after our show here, we should be wrapping up by about 9:30 Eastern time. Danny D'Lo is on the Jedi Knights Watch channel on YouTube. Great content out there. Their Wolfpack Wednesdays. It doesn't roll quite off the tongue as good as for me as it does probably for them. Special guest Justin's collection on, so big get for them. Interesting to see how that the conversation goes, but anytime you can get one of the titans of the 1/6 scale community out there and getting a chance to pick their brain, I'm sure that'll be a great conversation. So make sure you go check that out after our show here. So as TC alluded to, let's go to show and tell. And this morning we all woke up, and to the surprise of nobody, because we knew that the Mezco 1/12th Indiana Jones was going to drop today, when people went crazy for that. We're not going to cover that, but we're going to cover the 1/6. I can't talk tonight, guys. This is embarrassing. The 1/6 version of Harrison Ford. If I can get my screen to work. God, I feel like an amateur here. There we go. There's Indy.
Old man Indy.
Old man Indy. So, Chris, this was your show and tell.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting Hot Toys is getting Harrison Ford back in 1/6 scale for the Dial of Destiny. I mean, it was one of those things where like we weren't sure if it was going to happen because he hasn't had any Star Wars Hot Toys for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, it's great. Great initial views here of the prototype. Face sculpt looks spot on. Got all kinds of accessories. We've got a deluxe version, a regular version. Deluxe comes with this this base here. It's like, but yeah, he's got his signature whip. Got the fedora. I mean, it's a cool looking figure. It depends, who's buying this. I mean, obviously, indie fans and stuff like that. Fans of the original series, the original movies. We've got the rolling eyeball technology on this one. So that's a nice feature. Got some real leather going on with the jacket. He's got the Dial of Destiny. He's got a backpack, ropes, holster, all that stuff. So you can have a pretty good setup. But one cool thing is on this base, you've got an ankle holder instead of the crotch grabber, and it's a neat change here, and hadn't really seen this before. I think it's been used in some other manufacturers, but I don't know. I mean, it's a cool little change to how you can hold up your figure. Some people questioning how long it's going to be able to hold it, but I think it's a good switch up there from Hot Toys design wise. But I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
So TC, they did I don't remember the original DX number because they did a Indiana Jones before. Is it DX like 05 or 06 or something?
I think so. 05.
05. So obviously that one probably hasn't held up all that well. And I mean, if you think about the Star Wars head sculpts of Harrison Ford, I mean, we got the original figure from A New Hope, and then there was that update like a year or two later where there was the Stormtrooper disguise, and we got a different Harrison Ford head sculpt. Like this is really only the fourth head sculpt that we've gotten of Harrison Ford. So Hot Toys does they do old man faces great. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I think everyone's saying the same thing, TC, here is like he's de-aged in this movie, presumably for flashbacks and stuff. Are we going to get another one from this of this movie? Or I know like Robert was just asking, are we going to get Raiders? Are we going to get Last Crusade? Obviously he signed off on something recently, so I would think that they're going to want to pounce on this while they've got his blessing to use his likeness.
Yeah, I mean, I figured there's a lot to say about this figure, but I initially thought that he probably would wait to do a younger version down the line, but that's a good point. If he's de-aged at some point in the movie, then they're not going to show that version. They'd show this one that's been in the previews, and I mean, this one looks phenomenal. I mean, I think people want the younger version, so I think what's getting overlooked is, to me, just how good the sculpt is. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not the same sculpt as the Force Awakens Han. Like, that one was pretty good, but if you go back and look,
I forgot one. Yeah,
if you go back and look, then the nose to me is a little off. I think they got this just like, this is like a 9 out of 10 to me. The hat, the fact that it doesn't detach is a little bit of a downer, but I get why they're doing that, because instead of trying to make a hat and develop a hat that fits the sculpt perfectly, this is much simpler. I also woke up, gosh, I saw this figure and I was like, oh man, this is nice. But I was like, am I gonna have to buy a figure with a pleather jacket? And so I looked at all the pictures first, and then I slowly read the paragraph, and sure enough, genuine leather. So that's good. And genuine leather shoes. So the shoes are leather too.
Yeah, those are cool.
This guy's sporting Oxfords over here. So Oxfords, you got the leather whip, so it's not plastic, like a soft form plastic. So I think this is just pretty money for an opening figure for this movie. We'll see what else they release. It's probably best to wait if you just want one. If you're just looking for a Harrison Ford figure in general, and I mean, this one's pretty hard to pass up. I mean, the jacket looks legit. Looks like a real leather jacket.
Is really nice. And the layering too, the inner shirt. I mean, everything seems to be, pretty well, tailored for the figure and stuff. Maybe the pants look a little bit baggy, but it is the prototype, but yeah, I mean, we'll definitely we'll see if we get any more from a younger version. I doubt we get any other characters from the movie, but it's been a long time. There's been some third party indie figures and stuff in the last couple of years, but we want the real deal, and I think Hot Toys did a really good job putting this out there. We'll see how the movie is, and how much it calls to you if you think you really need this version. But I could see you adding it.
I mean, the fact that Mezco made a figure from Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's another one probably coming.
Yeah.
Danny, I don't know if you're going to be invited back to the stream here anytime soon.
A mutt? You want a mutt?
He wants
figure?
a mutt. No.
Yeah.
Notice how I keep skipping over that one. I keep saying Last Crusade and then Dial Destiny.
I think a lot of people do. I mean, I don't dislike it as much as a lot of people, but I wish I could sneak in a rewatch of the movies before this one.
We did see a couple weekends ago. We watched Last Crusade, so that was good. We showed that to my son, and he liked it. It's funny because we tried showing him Batman '89, and it's funny how we get desensitized to all the stuff that's CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But all the practical effects stuff of people getting burned alive or face melting and off and stuff like that. It's when it's practical effects, he's gets more freaked out and scared by it. So
definitely.
So yeah, we only made it 30 minutes into Batman '89, and then we had to shut that off. He just got completely creeped out by Joker. So I finished the movie, and that's why I kept just watching all the other Batman movies.
Well, I mean, I put on. Was it the other weekend? I put on Raiders of the Lost Ark for the girls, and we got through the opening, and obviously practical effects going through to get
All the
the
rats and
idol and
stuff.
no,
Oh,
the
Raider. Oh, sorry, I was thinking Last
Raiders.
Crusade. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some pretty gory stuff happening in that first act, or not first full act, but the opening there. And Alice was like, I turned it off when the credits or the Indiana Jones or Raiders popped up, and she was like, I want to keep watching it. I was like, dang it. Like, so we haven't gotten back to it, but yeah, she might be hooked. She might be an indie fan. I don't know, but Cece's she's a little bit tougher.
All right, let's stay with the Hot Toys. And Back to the Future 3, staying with the classics here. So TC, these both figures just dropped, what was it, yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. So MMS 616 Marty McFly and MMS 617 Doc Brown from Back to the Future 3. So yeah, I mean, very cool figures. It's looking at the indie figure.
I was just saying the same. I was thinking the same thing.
I know. I think I appreciate these for the fact that they're simply Back to the Future 3 figures, and that Hot Toys did resculpt them. But like the Doc Brown does not look as realistic as Indiana Jones. The way that the sculpt came out, I don't think the paint's as good. I guess these are the finals, not prototypes. But as far as the tailoring goes, I think these outfits are amazing. I don't know. There's something about like a Western action figure.
Sure.
By Hot Toys that you just don't see, and same with indie, you don't see that type of figure. But looking at these, I think they just did a really good job with the outfits, and the accessories are really cool. And I don't know, together they look awesome. And of the 3 Back to the Future movies, I like the third one. I don't know. Call me weird, but I like the third one the best. So these are really cool. Again, the hat issue where you can't remove the hat from the sculpt. Probably would have preferred it differently, but other than that, I think these are just really cool toys. Very simple.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, as Danny is calling for.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a perfect scenario, I would definitely like having these some Back to the Future stuff to represent.
The Marty sculpt is the best out of any of the figures, in my opinion, that they've released. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of the Marty figures, yes, but I'm still just not quite seeing Michael J. Fox in some of these angles. Like that one here on screen, a little bit more. It's just weird with like the bangs over his forehead. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's like I feel like it's almost there. I feel like Doc's face sculpt is really good, but the hair just kind of wrecks it. But I mean, you're right, TC. The fact that you've got Back to the Future 3 figures, you've technically got them from all 3 movies now. I'd love to see somebody with the display, with each of the figures from each of the movies with the 2 different DeLoreans. I don't know if they'll ever do the DeLorean from the third one where it's, looks like a train car, but yeah, no,
that would be cool.
I'm with you though. I think that the tailoring on the clothing is great.
They've always been all the Marty figures are just super cool with the outfits he has. Just a quick note: these are, I think, $270, and they're on a wait list at Sideshow and Big Bad Toy Store. Starting to run low on stock, and you can get it like the other biggest retailers, Pop Culture. So just if you want to take a look there, you can pre-order them for like, if you have like a coupon, you can get them for like $230. And if you don't, they come out to around like $250. So I don't think they'll sit forever, but we'll see.
So this is just me speculating here, just because I've been obviously looking, window shopping a lot. I still have yet to pull the trigger on anything. So sorry to disappoint anybody in the collection update, but do you guys feel like Sideshow is using their waitlist to their advantage, because I feel like they have an S-ton of figures on waitlist that I don't really think that they technically would be unless they're making less these days. But it's almost half their Hot Toys are on waitlist. Some of them are waitlist full, so maybe I get that, but then they're available at other retailers. Like our friend Ray at Underground Figures has got a ton of figures that are available that are waitlist on Sideshow or waitlist full. I don't get it. Just sorry for the tangent there.
No, I don't get it either. Definitely, could be some speculation there with, is it a ploy? Who knows? But yeah, I mean, if Sideshow doesn't have what you're looking for, definitely check out Ray at Underground Figures. Message him directly and tell him you're a scavenger, and just let him know that you're interested in something. So
the only thing is, if you have something on waitlist and you leave it on waitlist, you're not taking new orders. So what's the point of playing that game? There's no NRD, there's no actual order. It's just people on a waitlist in line, ready to purchase. So I just think they don't order as much. And the other, maybe just maybe customers just don't feel the need to go through these smaller retailers for whatever reason, whether it's because BBTS might have more stock, or I don't know. I'm not sure on that one.
All right, yeah. My turn. All right, going away from Hot Toys. I think 3 out of the 4 times we've done this, I've actually talked about a Lego set, but I've been building a lot of Lego. Actually, I'll talk about that in my collection update, but building a lot of Legos lately with my son. That's been fun. You can't really see behind me there, but we've been busy with our, which before had his Lego train on it, but we're going to turn it into a Lego city with the modular buildings and stuff. So looking forward to doing that. But this came up recently and just completely caught my eye. This is Lego set 10320 El Dorado Fortress. So anybody that grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, Lego Knights, castles were awesome. Lego Pirates were also like so cool. Chris, I'm sure you probably remember this, but
that was my jam.
Like this set here is a redo of an original set that was from 1989. Was the El Dorado Fortress. That was 6276. They hadn't even hit 5 digits yet. And what cool thing Lego has been doing the last year or two or so has been redoing classic sets with like a modern twist and using current building techniques and different pieces that weren't even available at that time. But I had my brother and we had a lot of not all of the Lego Pirate sets, but some of them. I was not lucky enough to have this original one, but now that this is up for order for VIP members, can order this on July 4th, $215. A decent amount of pieces and stuff here. I mean, this just looks fantastic. I mean, if anybody remembers, like they used to have like the form-fitting trays that used to build on, like you'd have like the hills and stuff. Well, you actually build that up now from the base. So there's a lot of Lego pieces here on this base.
Holy cow.
I mean, you can kind of see as we're scrolling through some of the pictures here, but it's modular, so you can kind of configure it for however your display option is here. It just looks so cool. I mean, like I'm definitely going to grab this and have fun building with son. And there's a whole bunch of different little things. And obviously the minifigures and stuff are a lot better than they were in 1989. Decent size too. And, a couple different places here showing it on display. There's all the minifigures. And this was the original set, 6276. This is a lot smaller screen. I know Michael was giving me grief for our little photos that we had before, but no, you can see like this, like the plastic tray on there I used to build on the top. They used to have castle sets that were the same way. Actually, the set that I did have which I remember this being a lot bigger than this,
I
but
definitely
anyways,
had that.
yeah. So this was the Saber Island, I think.
Yeah.
I remember having this, but for some reason I remember this being like a lot bigger and cooler than this little photo is. But it's kind of funny how our memories as kids kind of fail us sometimes. But yeah, no, we definitely had this and some other stuff. So I'm looking forward to grabbing this.
Oh
set.
man, you're killing me with this Lego stuff. I want to buy all this stuff so bad.
Well, I'll just come over to my house and you can
Yeah,
look
that's
at
true. I'll just play. Yeah.
Or you can hire Brian to build it for you and then just drive it back to your house.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be allowed to build it. Julia and the kids would build everything, and then my kids would just fall on it and smash it. So, which
Yeah.
they do with everything.
Mark's saying they wish they give you the big build plate. So,
yeah. I mean, I had a bunch of the smaller sets related to these, and then had one of the big pirate islands that had those bases and stuff. Had a bunch of other pirate things. Had so many Lego palm trees back in the day. But yeah.
Whoa! Badfish is saying the original set was going for $2,700 new. Like Lego investing is crazy. There's a whole bunch of like YouTube channels out there and stuff like that. Like people like speculate on this stuff and they say it's better in the stock market. I mean, they're probably not wrong. I like playing with stuff too much. For me, building Legos also keeps me off my phone and screen time. It's just kind of like my like Zen thing. So
yeah, you got to keep it boxed. You got to keep it boxed, right?
Yeah, it's got to be sealed.
You do. You got to seal and box. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have enough disposable income to buy extras. It's not like I can buy one to open, one to rock and one to stock.
No,
forget one and one. Buy like 30.
Right.
Not at once, but like. Yeah.
But then, like, God forbid you buy the wrong set and buy all that and
well, you can diversify.
I know, but yeah, it's crazy. Like you never see like vintage Lego stuff when you're out hunting.
No.
Like it's always bins of used Legos.
So what happens? So the 1989 vintage one, guessing it's not negatively impacted by this. Is this a reissue?
No, because it's kind of like a redo. So like they using it as like an inspiration to do the new one. But I think what will happen is I think it'll probably renew interest in people wanting to go back and grab the original because of the nostalgia thing there. Like maybe they had the set way back and they're like, oh well, I can get the new one, and like, oh well, I've got like tons of money lying around one. I just dropped like $3,000 to buy the original.
I mean, it plays into what a lot of these companies have been doing for the last 10 plus years. It's the retro figures for Star Wars and for Masters of the Universe, Transformers, Turtles, like all that stuff. It plays right into that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have to keep an eye out.
No doubt.
I'm sure I'll share some build photos in a collection update upcoming. Yeah, and this is what Mark's saying too. When the Rivendell Lord of the Rings set, all the old ones kind of shot up too. Wow. So you got it's almost kind of like it's almost like a shot across the bow, TC. Like you've got people thinking about it that weren't before, and then they start to go back and look. So, but like Chris is right. There's only a finite amount of like that stuff that's still probably unopened, especially when you're talking like that. Like the 80s were still like people weren't really thinking of holding on to stuff and not opening it.
No, I mean, it's kind of like, finding a sealed video game, Nintendo or Sega or whatever video game that's still sealed. Like it was meant to be opened. So the chances of finding something that's still sealed is usually like grandma bought this and put it in a closet and forgot about it. And that's
even the new ones. I mean, like how cool is the Rivendell set or anything they release right now? It's just very tempting to open. It's very tempting to open. So I can still see that same principle existing. Granted, it'll take a lot of time, but 5-10 years down the line, what does Rivendell go for?
I think a
knows?
lot of money. It's going to talk it about in the collection update, but
Yeah.
it might be the coolest Lego set I've ever experienced.
I mean, there are a lot of people buying up Lego because I check on Facebook Marketplace all the time looking for, leads on stuff, and it's like entire sealed Lego collection, $30,000, and it's like they show pictures of like just shelves filled with sealed boxes and stuff. You're like, I mean, maybe I'd offer half that, but it's still a ton of money.
And there's tons of websites out there like Brick Economy and stuff that you can go and look at. They have even algorithms about like when a set's going to retire and what it's going to look like in 5 years. Trust me, like I just want to build the stuff. Like I don't care. There's other ways to make money. I'm just done with like buying and selling stuff. I'm just so done. Not buying stuff, I'm fine with that, but like selling it, I'm done with that part. Oh boy, Robert.
I know.
I might run into Robert. I'm going down to Disney World in about 2 months or less than 2 months now. So hoping to run into into our friend Robert.
I know Robert's like sending me pictures of his nephew's like vintage toy collections and stuff like that he's.
Oh, maybe I'll be able to scoop up a deal for you while I'm down there. Yeah, the GOAT Gares get it right. I collect to play, not to invest. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, there's always money to be made, but I think it's more likely that you have the wrong thing.
Yeah, when you lead with the investment thing, like, and you're not really a true investor with things, it's hard to hold on to that stuff, in my opinion.
Because you got to hold it.
Yeah.
You can't just, you could flip it real quick, hype, but the stuff that stands the test of time is stuff that's been out. The supply is dwindled, the demand's up, that kind of thing. And
we talked about this. We talked about this on many episodes ago on the old string of episode numbers we were on, but like more often than not, you have to clear like over $100 of what you paid on retail, like making back on fees and stuff to break even. So buying to flip to make money, good luck.
Yeah, short term wise, yeah, it's like, yeah, but I mean, it's definitely a conversation. And I always dream about, rolling up on a yard sale that's filled with all kinds of goodies, and stuff. So there's stuff like that out there. People like to boast about it on Instagram and social media. But
I have the Luke Skywalker Hot Toys figure. That's the Luke pilot. It's in the little display case, the retro casing.
Yeah.
I won't open it. I just won't. I can see it. It's good enough for me. And it just makes me feel like I have like a retro figure.
Sure.
Even though it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like every single one of your Hot Toys is like that.
No.
It just adds a different element to your display. And so nothing wrong with that.
All right, let's talk some collection updates. Chris, I got your photo first. We're just going to start with you.
Nothing crazy going on purchase-wise.
Hey, just look, small photo.
I know. Well, I mean, it is a trading card, so like it works. Yeah, I just picked up this Harley Quinn card from 2019. The manufacturer's Cryptozoic, and they did a DC line. And this is a Star Power insert of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, but this is a gold version and it's numbered to 30. So there's only 30 copies of this in the world. And in the past 2 years, this is the first gold that I've seen hit the market. And I've only seen one other one that was numbered to 60 hit the market. And this was just like a straight buy it now on eBay. I had some funds in my eBay account and the price was like way under what I would think it was supposed to be. So I don't know if this person just didn't have any comps to go off of for a listing price, but I was pretty happy to grab this and dropped it off with Brian to go to PSA to get graded, and yeah, so happy about that. And then other than that, I decided I'm not doing any more shows the rest of the year. So I've been
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for
I
you.
know,
No,
right?
seriously, it's a
Yeah.
losing proposition.
Oh man, it's like you have to have a special type of inventory to like really be productive at all these shows, and you've got to commit every weekend, every month, and you've got to constantly be getting in new stuff, and it's so much work. So I've been just like purging on my eBay store, Ladies Collectibles, and it's been good. It's felt good clearing out everything. We're having a yard sale this weekend. Going to clear out more, and kind of doing a like full reset. I'd like to get all that inventory out of here and reallocate those funds toward the purchases. Like sold over 200 and something figures, and then I bought 4 figure or cards, I should say, over 200 cards, and then bought 4 more with those funds. So I went from 200 cards down to 4, and it feels a lot better having less, stuff kicking around. So I don't know.
Very
It's a
cool.
lot of work though.
Oh, so much work. That's why I'm done with it. That's why I mentioned earlier. I'm done with selling. I have a couple things in my eBay store. I think as of like Monday or Tuesday, they'll be gone. And I'm thinking of just shutting down the eBay store for at least the summer. So, all right, TC, what do you got going on in your collection?
Just one minifigure, not a minifigure, smaller figure. Got the Buzz Lightyear from SH Figure Arts. So, I had the Ahsoka Hot Toys from the Mandalorian on pre-order at Pop Culture, but I don't know. I like the figure. I wasn't very confident in me getting a good version, unbroken version of that figure. So I contacted them and just asked if I could get my deposit back via a store credit. And with that, it was like $90. I ended up ordering this figure. So really cool. It's a 1/12 scale. For those that don't know, most probably do. But I like this one because I'm going to get the Hot Toys one. But this one has the alternative sculpt, has the unhelmeted sculpt with the hair. And it just a figure that's really cool. And I can put it, pretty much anywhere on the shelf to complement 1/6 figure or Lego or whatever. And it just looks great. I enjoyed the movie. Buzz, classic character, and it's cool to finally have something in the collection to kind of remind me of the old Toy Story days.
I might have an extra Buzz Lightyear minifig kicking around if you want a Lego one to go with it. So
sure,
I'll dig through the bin and see if I can get the boss to see if he'll part with one of them. So
thanks. Yeah, but I mean, the articulation's awesome. I do wish it had a little die cast. Does not have any die cast. I can, it is. You can tell it is plastic figure, but it just looks great. And I like the unhelmeted look as an alternate display option.
Sorry, I didn't grab the photos on that one.
No problem.
Big Bad Toy Store was like not working when I went to go grab photos earlier. So, not good for business to be down at 6 o'clock Eastern time on a normal day when people are trying to go buy stuff.
But yeah, so that's all I have. But I think next time I'll have a couple more Hot Toys on the way.
Very cool. All right, I'll finish it off. So like I mentioned, my son and I have been busy with Lego. So that's been fun to do that. And for my birthday, lucky guy, my wife and son got me the Rivendell set for my birthday / Father's Day, which enormous gift, just so awesome. I finally, after about a week or so, finally finished it. And this thing is just fantastic. I had so much fun building this set. Of course, now I'm looking at the photo here and I have to fix a couple of the roof tiles. As somebody that is red-green colorblind, I've never seen the Lego group company, whatever they are, be as cruel as they are to do all these little 1x1 tiles on the roof. And if you can see it on the screen here, there's a lot. And there's like a pattern to follow. And the book and the pieces do not look the same to me. So I just took a guess. I guess it looks all right. If they're not in the right spot, at least there's a pattern to it. So this thing is like modular. It's in like 3 different pieces. Obviously based on the Fellowship of the Ring. There's the council, all the hobbits. I mean, there's like a waterfall over here. There's like you can't see it in the photo here, but there's like an armory underneath the gazebo. And this is in a 1/6, 110, 6 scale 110 Magic case. So it's taking up a good chunk of it. I'm glad that the measurements aren't as deep as, or the width wise as Lego said on the thing, because I was a little concerned it would not fit in the Magic case, but it did. So obviously above there, I've got the Knight's Castle that I had gotten last year, but this thing just pops, especially with the light from the Magic case in there. So glad to have some.
It's beautiful.
So many bright colors in this too. Like the trees are really fun to build, and usually building trees are like the worst, but it was just a really fun build. All overall, I mean, like the price tag on it it's high, but like there's just so many pieces, and we may never get another Lord of the Rings set. I mean, there's some rumors that they might do like Minas Tirith or something next year. But are we ever going to get another Hobbit? I'm not sorry, Hobbit, like, with the Fellowship and all the characters and stuff? Probably not. So this thing will probably be available for multiple years before it gets retired. And like you were speculating, TC, like, is this thing going to go like 3x eventually? Maybe. But I mean, I feel like a lot of the people that, that when we were younger, we watched this film and we're at the point where now we're like, buying still merchandise and stuff like this, in 10, 20 years, are people still going to want to go back and, look to scoop a setup like this? I don't know, but I don't care. I would never have just kept this sealed. I was 100% going to build it and enjoy every moment of it.
Those, my knowledge of the lore is questionable, but these minifigs, those are minifigs, right, on the left side, those gray ones, those actual minifigs.
The statues are actually minifigs here. So I can get a better close up. Yeah. And it's actually, my son was a little disappointed. He's like, I wish they would have done a way to like make them actual statues. But I'm like, nah, I thought it was great. I mean, there's just so many different, not that I'm like a Lego master at all, but like some of the building techniques of like building on the sides and stuff like that. And it's funny too, because even these chairs, like the arms on this are like hot dogs. The back of the chair is a popsicle. It's amazing, like all the different things that they put in here. And there's just so many hidden features too. Like on the left here, underneath where the statues are, there's this little the grass puts to the side, and like Samwise can like hide in there, like when he was listening to all of them talking. It's it's just so cool.
Yeah. I think it's top notch. Congrats, man. Happy birthday to you.
Right.
I know we're the chums. We're just like just jealous.
Yes.
Oohing and eyeing over the Rivendell set. I do want one.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot of space. If you think about it, it's like an entire almost Magic case shelf of the 110. So it's, the double wide ones, and it's there's no way you could fit that in. I mean, they've shown like pictures of it like on top of people's shelves and stuff like that. It is modular, so you can move it around so that it can, fit whatever space like you might have. But I think that, I think setting it up like the way they'd intended, I think it just works. It works the best. Whew.
Yeah. Someday.
I mean, the thing about Lego though is Gosh, I have the Mos Eisley set. It's right behind me, and it's in an open shelf. Dude, it's not like my room gets dusty, but to clean one, like to wipe it down, it's just a giant pain.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully the Modu cases keep it dust free.
Oh yeah, they definitely. You gotta look at it and get into like some of like the makeup brushes and stuff like that, where you can.
Yeah,
I used to have a bunch of those when I was on that statue kick for a while.
I used a microfiber cloth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you use like canned air or anything like that to blow it?
No, I'm just don't want it reacting with the plastic. I'm that guy, but maybe I should.
We're all that kind of guy, TC.
Just don't use a vacuum.
There goes the hair.
Yeah,
There goes Luke Skywalker's hair. Yeah.
I know Julia's definitely vacuumed up a bunch of Legos, and they just go right in the trash.
I mean, if you vacuum up the hair, you just slash any potential of that minifig in the future.
Yeah, I
Be
know.
careful.
Got to keep those.
Brian,
those
didn't you
values in
found
check.
a Thrawn that was very valuable, right? But it had no hair. Did you find it?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, a Thrawn minifigure from a set from 2017, a Rebel set, like $120, like crazy. Like it's
Dude.
crazy the amount of people will pay for retired minifigures.
There's an Ahsoka from a Rebels set that goes for minimum $350 loose. It's insane, and
We're just gonna become the Lego scavengers. Like, I have considered it.
I mean, we need to make an appearance. Is this Collecting Weekly still have Bricks and Brews? Because we'll just slide into their stream and
Sean's tried to get me on there a couple times.
yeah, it is nuts it's a whole different area of collecting the minifigures. Like, people just collect the minifigures and they're looking for all the exclusives, the figures from retired sets, the different variants. I mean, the biggest one for Star Wars is the Boba Fett from the Cloud City playset, and that goes for. There was a graded one that sold for like over $1,000 just for the figure. So, because you can get your minifigures graded. So,
I don't know. I feel like most minifigures gotta be in close to mint condition, unless you're just throwing them against the wall or something. They're pretty durable.
I mean, not my kids' minifigures, but
Well, people actually look to make sure like the sides aren't cracked, like they can crack around, like the arm, like if you keep taking the hand in and out. Yeah, they definitely do. They can get into not good condition, but if they've just been sitting in a box for 7-8 years,
yeah,
you're right, TC, they're probably going to be good. So,
and you got to the amount of fakes in that area is just astronomical.
oh yeah, like actually people on eBay sell, like, and you're probably familiar with this, Chris, but like the repo, or it'll say like RE, even those figures sell for like $20. It's like
I know the reproduction of that Ahsoka, because I have one. I thought it might have been real, but I was shot down pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, that's like $15-$20 for the reproduction figure on a regular basis. But
all right,
people be
53
crazy.
minutes in. Let's get to our topic. Batman.
I'm Batman.
I am Batman. I am not Batman. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Man, Batman's been like, I don't know if it's just, I know it might be just me, but, and Chris, you're a bad man because like not a Batman, you're a bad man. Like when you showed all those photos, the last episode of the Batmobile and stuff,
man,
that got the wheels turning. Cause even then I was like, I've really like thought about it for a while. And I'm just wondering if now might be the time to start, just because there's been so many figures that are, that are either re-released or there's reissues. There's a lot of stuff available for retail. There's a heck of a lot of stuff on there for pre-order. So there's this hypothetical question that I thought, we'd ask. We all know this is about me. I'm the problem. It's me. Taylor Swift. I mean, you've got Keaton coming back for the Flash. Like I mentioned earlier, I've watched Batman 89, Batman Returns, The Batman, and just recently redid the Dark Knight trilogy. I just love the fact that like so many different iterations have been done, and maybe it's some recency bias, but Chris, I just loved like the take of like the Batman, like, you know, really leaning into like that world's best detective angle. They haven't really done it on screen yet, and I'm just like, oh man, I have not bought a Hot Toy figure since I think the last one that I actually purchased may have been the Boba Fett version 1 from Mandalorian season 2. So I have not gotten a Hot Toy in a long time.
Well,
You're overdue.
I think you need to
I am
change
overdue. I know. Well, Roy doesn't think I have any self-control, which he's probably not wrong, but
So you got the this is going rogue, but you like the Batman. Do you have a preference over the Hot Toys versus in art figure?
that's part of what we could probably talk about here. So let's, you know, so there's this hypothetical question. So you got a friend that's looking for your advice on starting a 6-scale Batman collection from scratch. So we asked our scavengers, like, what advice would you give somebody on like figures or vehicles that are available now at retail, retired figures, maybe to go back for pre-orders to Target? Assume that they can't spend loads of money right up front, and it's more of a long-term goal. So before we get into our take, I'll share what some of our scavengers said. So Sean from Collecting Weekly, Sean Uselby, I thought he was joking at first, but then I had a sidebar conversation. He said to get the Arkham video game figures, and I thought he was joking, but he was dead serious. So he's like, you know, it's a good way to get a cross section of, you know, what they were in the video game. So it's more of like a video game / comic book take on them. It's more not necessarily generic than, you know, like the real life action stuff has been. So
it's like comic book, you know, kind of cross.
Yeah, like so like the Joker, and they did like a Batman Beyond's figure and stuff like that. So that's one angle you could take, and obviously that's more finite. There hasn't been a ton of like the Arkham figures, and there's certainly only been, well, not a few, but they've done a couple different versions of like the Batman armor from those video games. I think there might be like 6 or 7 Batman figures specifically. And that's another thing too, is like, are you just talking Batman? Are you talking the different movies? Like, are you talking about the Rose Gallery?
Going for a Harley, you know? You going
Yeah,
for Joker,
I mean,
you know?
There's a lot of different things you could do. So Arc77 in our group saying, all right, just get the Hot Toys Batman 89, the modern suit Batman from the Flash, and the 89 Batman, and you're all set. So he's definitely a Michael Keaton Batman. Chris, we showed that photo last time. Like, if they make all the different armors from that,
oh my god,
like some of those are like disgustingly good. I'm just wondering if those might be like some of like the summer exclusives we might see.
I would say at least one.
There's a few of them in there, like the blue and gray suit I would get in a heartbeat, and there's a few others too that I'm like, oh man, if they did that. Even the I do like the Batman Returns suit more than the Batman 89 one, but we'll see. Anthony said first thing you do is tell this hypothetical friend where do they want to focus their collection. So obviously that's, you know, pretty smart. I mean, even Batman there's been a bunch of different iterations and trilogies and stuff they've done. You know, he's like, are they a specific Batman fan? You know, comic, West, Keaton, Bale, etc. Or just an overall Batman fan? And do they have an intention to get a representation of every film supporting characters like you mentioned, Chris, there with Harley, vehicles, Batmobiles, there's a lot there. But then he specifically said the only figures he would recommend going back for are the West era. So the Batman and Robin that they did, Ledger Joker. So obviously TC just mentioned, like, if, you know, the in-arts version is somewhat available, I still think that price has been jacked up for the ones that are available, and the DX ones that they've done obviously fetch quite a bit on the secondary market at this point. And then he said the Nicholson Jokers, because he doesn't think that they'll redo any of those. I forgot how good Jack Nicholson was as the Joker. Like, he was unhinged. Like, wow. Like you kind of make fun of like, like the Prince songs and stuff in the movie, but there's some parts where he's like just Shining level detached.
Oh, definitely. Like there's no denying he deserved to be in Arkham Asylum. It's just it's crazy what Jack Nicholson brought to the table and completely flipped the script on Joker in live action. But yeah, great questions to pose. Definitely things to think about when you're getting into a Batman specific type collection, because we have a lot of options here, whether it be figures that have come out previously, figures that are currently on pre-order, and then potentially what is to come for the additional the Batman movie trilogy, and even like you could even consider the animated series, because Mondo has 1/6 figures, and you could even go that animated look. So there's a whole different there's a lot of stuff going on.
And then Robert bringing it home with some really practical advice. He says, look at what's available at retail. What are your favorites? Look at the release versions and research pricing. Do you need multiple Batmans? Do you need every Nolan version? Do you want, looking at in art like we've had come up multiple times here, TC, look at space, mentioning again, vehicles look, always seem like a great idea, but they take up a lot of space in 1/6, especially these big Batmobiles and the tumblers and stuff.
And you got to consider, sorry, I'll just, the boxes too for the vehicles. You've got to consider like where are you storing those boxes, and so that's a whole different thing,
Yeah. So I mean, space, the budget, making a plan, and then his final thing, and Roy will probably find this funny, but is do self-reflection, realization. Is this a fad? Does it have some longevity, or are you just kind of caught up in the moment? So we're talking about it now, but I've actually been thinking about this more than
3 hours.
A month or so. Yeah, it's been more than 3 hours. And now
this is a sweet Batman, though. This Pattinson.
It is.
Pattinson's suit is just epic.
With the Bat Cycle. If you want to go vehicle, go with a smaller vehicle.
I was watching because I've been looking at so many different doing some research stuff and reviews and stuff on figures. I had one suggested video that popped up, and this guy's video, he ranked all of the Bat suits that have been in live action, whether it's been TV or movies and stuff. He had the Batman suit here, the Pattinson one, number 1 overall. I was like, I didn't realize that people liked it that much. I think it's awesome. Yeah, just like fantastic movie and figure and stuff. But I mean, as we're go ahead, TC. I'll just kind of scroll through
as like a figure, you can at least like these are great. But the thing is, a lot of the Batman suits are rubber based, so it's likely difficult to hold a pose without it degrading. So the Pattinson suit, the fact that it's at least majority fabric, that lends itself to some really cool poses that you can hold long term. So, and it just, I don't know, that's intimidating, man. For those that are watching the live video, you see the Pattinson Batman on the screen right now.
The in art, man, I've looked at this so many different times. You're right though. I mean, this it's funny. I think I watched this movie maybe this past Friday night, and I was like, wow, this is like 3 hours long, and I didn't start it till late after my son went to bed. And I was like, all right, I'll just watch half now, and then I'll watch the other half when I get a chance. Next thing I know, I'm up till like 1:30 in the morning still watching this. And I'm just glued to it. I'm like, oh my God, this is just amazing.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that movie bad.
I mean, there's just a lot out here. I personally, so no surprise, I've been really kind of giving it some thought, and this is that picture we were talking about here, Chris. I mean, like if they make this one on the left that's consideration. The blue and gray one, you've got the 2 suits from Batman 89, Batman Returns, and then the new suit in the Flash. I thought worked like really, really well. I don't care so much for this scuba suit. I'd pass on that one, but this armor like Nightmare version that looks cool too. This one doesn't do it for me. This Batfleck, but I think you just kind of got to decide like if you want to go about doing it, it's kind of a plan. I mean, the thing is, there's a couple of these figures that are available for retail right now, like the DX19. It's not perfect, but it's mostly good. There's one of the big things it seems like a lot of people do is get custom capes, because the ones that Hot Toys does just, they're not great. But then even if you wanted to get like the redo of the first bat suit from Batman Begins and the very first part of The Dark Knight, like people don't think that they did very well on this redo. Like they said it's too shiny. There's just, I don't know. Like I do love Batman Begins. I think it's a great movie. I kind of want to have, a representation here, but like, is InArt going to do a figure? And then I know I've kind of avoided your question for a little bit here, TC, but I mean, like, is a plan that you might get a few of these versions on your shelf and then maybe later replace it if they make a better version, especially InArt, because we don't know how many different ones they're going to do. Obviously, they're doing Pattinson now. I mean, looks like they're going to be moving on to Henry Cavill for Superman, but does that mean they're going to look at Batfleck? Are they going to look back at, are they going to do a Bale? Are they going to do the Dark Knight figure?
Well, they're going to do a Bale. They've already said. But I don't know about. I think they're also doing a Batfleck too. I just don't know when. Like, I don't know. Their pacing isn't the fastest. So we're still like they announce a figure, the Superman. They're like, oh, welcome to the stage, and then, all right, well, they wait another 2 weeks before they actually announce it, and so that's another 2 weeks gone, and then, it's months before the next reveal. So who knows when you'll see it? But if you do want to wait,
And that's maybe a strategy, is like if you want to just do InArt figures and you're just like, okay, well, let me just start and I'll add the Pattinson Batman, and then I'll just wait and I'll budget for whenever they do another one, and I'll just, kind of gradually, add them there as, it's a version of the character that you enjoy. So,
yeah, I mean, you could go that direction and know that you're not going to have that many figures and it's going to be pretty spaced out, and you can plan accordingly. I mean, that's easier said than done for a lot of us collectors. We want to just keep having mail days and that sort of thing. But it's not a bad approach. And you could always, if you want accessories and make a scene, you could, go with the InArt Pattinson Batman and maybe add a Hot Toys Bat Cycle and whatever. You've got options. I mean, one figure actually, like, you don't have a picture of it, is the Suicide Squad Batman Batfleck.
That's yeah, because that was the redo of the Batman versus Superman one, or the same. Yeah, it's like $600 or something like that. So,
I just like it. It's got the breather mask, and it's got like just a different look. I had considered getting that one to pair with my Harleys, but then I started seeing the prices. I was like,
that one was I like that one. I felt like, I don't know, it was out years ago, right off the heels of BVS, under the radar.
Yeah,
always flew under the radar, and then now it's just, if you see one, like you said, $500-$600, and those suits do degrade if you're not careful. So if you buy one on the secondary market, you better be okay with it having a little bit of a condition issue.
So, there's a lot of people out there upgrading. They've created upgrades, like I think it's like Jackson or something for the capes, and people doing stuff in on Etsy and different, all sorts of different things going on. So if you don't mind messing with your figures and tweaking things here and there, for sure, there's options. But and then yeah, Robert's talking about Jazz Inc. I mean, Yoast has put a lot of different products out there related to Batman, so you could get all kinds of cool stuff.
Definitely a lot of options, and I think because there's a lot of stuff at retail now, it seems like it's more. If you wanted to go about doing it, like you said, you don't have to go back and chase like $600 figures. And I mean, I wouldn't. It wouldn't completely shock me to see, Hot Toys decide to do another version of, another Batfleck or something. I mean, Batman is right there with like Iron Man in terms of figures that they, put out. TC, the three of us were joking the other day. You're like, well, Hot Toys has done what, over 800 to 900 figures now, and maybe a third of them are Batman, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, if you go and look at the list, yeah, there's tons of different versions of characters, but like the Batmans, there's 30 Batman or whatever, 15 Batman, 50 different Iron Man figures or whatever, 100. Who knows? I can't even count, but like if you just go through the list, you can see Iron Man, Batman, Captain America, just to say like this Luke Skywalker, Leia, there's just the classics, and there's just a lot of choices, and you don't have to get every one. But if you want everyone, they're out there. Batman, he's the number one guy. He always has been.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like Keaton would probably be a version of him as Batman would probably be number one. And I'd probably go with Pattinson as a alternative style, but I also wouldn't rule out a Batfleck either. So I like all
the
those
Nightmare
ones.
Batfleck is,
yeah. It's got so
very
many
nice.
different elements to it. Adds something, a unique look to a shelf.
So, well, Chris, this, having young kids in the house, but like now that a fact that like my son is like, he's number one, he's excited that he's able to, watch some of these movies that, he's now old enough to. Probably multiple times per day, I'll get the same questions like, which one's your favorite Joker? Which one's your favorite Batman? And it's like, and now thinking about it, like each of them like have a little bit of a different, they bring a little bit something different to the character, or they accentuate something about the character that some of the other versions haven't really looked at. Like Keaton was all about like the gadgets and all that cool stuff. And then Bale was more of like, the stealth and the ninja. Batfleck was just like the big, like Frank Miller, like the brawler. And then now with Pattinson, more of the, the detective, but also, that brawler type. It's pretty cool. It's hard to pick, but yeah, I don't know if I'm any closer to kind of making any decisions, but I think that's the part that I'm trying to be better at, is like, trying to make sure it's not just a fad. But I mean, it's funny, Chris, because you think about it, like you think back of like, I was trying to tell my son about Batman the Animated Series, like, all of like I grew up on that. You always say like, oh, I'm always Marvel or, Star Wars and stuff. But then you realize like, dang, Batman, we were into everything, but like, dang, Batman actually was a big bulk of, it over the various different versions. Notice how I'm skipping over like the Batman and Robin and Batman Forever stuff. But...
yeah. No problem there. But I mean, he's one of the, if not, probably right on par with Spider-Man, and Superman, one of the biggest superheroes in all the world. So,
oh yeah, Spider-Man. That's another one that Hot Toys has made about 60.
Yeah.
We just wait till the new game comes out this fall.
Yeah, right. But so it's like to have some representation of Batman in a collection is, it's like if you're a fan of one of these versions of them, like it's almost like a given that you got to have something in there. So
Speaking of Uselby,
he is the worst. Do you want to loan us all money to buy them?
Well, he's on that California time, and he's not actually working, and we're just
That's
watching
true.
movies.
That's true.
More to come, but I thought that was just kind of fun. Thank you again to the couple scavengers that.
Yes, you are.
He is the vengeance. So thanks again to the scavengers that took the time to share their thoughts. And again, topics like that they're just kind of fun. And I think also, another thing that I've tried to be better at too is like really just trying to like think it through, kind of make a plan, think about the different space and display stuff well before making like the impulsive decisions and then having to like make decisions like and like on the fly or in crisis mode because you did X, Y, and Z. So it's better just to kind of think about the whole thing up front before you really do anything. And the thing is, with some of these stuff at retail, they've been at retail for a while. It's not going to just like poof go away, because even when it sells at retail, like the secondary market is not going to just skyrocket. I mean, there's so many Batman figures out there, so you can kind of use that to your advantage and build the kind of collection that you want to sit there and enjoy in the characters you enjoy, the versions, the costumes, the armor, etc.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, sir.
Yes.
Roy's
awaiting those.
Yeah, Roy's.
Let's make predictions of first Batman figure.
Oh, okay.
I think I know which one will be the first.
The Batman.
At retail. No, it's something available at retail.
Well, the Batman is pre-ordered. Pattinson.
I'm probably gonna. I'm really gonna get. I'm gonna get a Pattinson.
In stock.
I think I've already decided, but something in stock. Yeah. Chris just said it. Oh, yeah. The DX19. That's almost got to be like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So the Batman Begins one is like, I don't know. I wish they had done better. I'm just not super into like modding figures and trying to. But I have to actually like look at more videos and see really what the gripes are and where the, where it's not completely screen accurate. That's the one, not the one thing. It's one of the things that really irritates me about Hot Toys is like, as great as they are, like they overlook things or it doesn't come out the way they take some liberties. So, but I mean, any toy company collectible is going to do the same thing. Like InArt is not going to be infallible. I'm sure that they didn't do some things about the Joker that were completely accurate. And, these other figures that are coming out for Lord of the Rings, I'm sure that they're not completely perfect, but, we vote with we vote with our wallets, and that's how we can, enact change. Unless you're like Zach from Collecting Weekly and he just, can get things moving and get things changed. So
the Gandalf figure is far from perfect. Zach has made everybody aware.
That's, I think, what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you're right. The Gandalf figure has issues. InArt, they didn't put the some of the print on his robes. They didn't. His beard is not perfect, but it's it's very close to perfect in my opinion. But
it's got to be hard to top.
Yeah.
All right, closing time. Not quite 2 hour, hour and a half. Sorry, I've been all over the place tonight. I apologize to everybody.
Have you been sipping on a little something?
No, it's a little seltzer water here. I wish I was sipping on something that Letty's usually sipping on. So, I know it's been a great show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I know just in a few minutes, the Jedi Knights watch is going to be kicking off in a few minutes here. So, T Public Store, we've got couple t-shirts out there. I am going to try to get these back in audio form on Apple Podcasts and all those other fun things. We had kind of stopped that just because of the monthly cost was just felt like it was throwing money away. But, I think now that we're back and it seems like viewership's up and maybe we can get back to YouTube monetization here at some point. Once we get our hours watch count up. We've got the subscribers, but we don't have the content hours watched. So we need to work on that. We just need more content out for people to watch. So going to be working on that, I think, at some point. And we're hoping that the t-shirt sales and YouTube revenue and stuff might actually cover the audio costs. So it's not a lot, but it is, but we enjoy doing this. We love hanging out with Scavengers. It's a great time.
Definitely is.
Yeah, for sure. Good episode.
Yeah.
Episode 4 in the books. Nice.
I wonder what total episode number it is when you combine all of our old stuff. We were up to what, 79 or 80 before?
Yeah, it's probably close to 9. We're probably close to 90.
And then bonus episodes.
Yeah, bonus episodes. Yeah. Pushing close to 100, I think. So.
And it's hard to tell like how long we've been doing this because, we took time away at a couple different points and we were away for like 11 months at one point. So
yeah.
I know we started like 2018. Have we been continuous the whole time? No, but we are one of the OGs.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll take that badge. I don't know how far it gets us, but
yeah, we're old. Well, 2 of the 3 of us are old, but
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for episode 4, as TC just said. So, Chris, my friend, bring us home.
Excelsior.